Welcome to Burris Logistics 2024 Open Enrollment Session. My name is Rob Fulton from Rue Insurance, and I'll be your host today. On today's agenda, we'll discuss the Burris Logistics culture, what's new, what's changing. We'll go through a high-level benefits review, and finally we'll talk about the enrollment process. Burris Logistics' purpose is improving lives and supply chain by solving tough problems. Burris Logistics values personal, service, excellence, the mentality of we and not me, and the ability to simply make it happen. One Burris benefits, improving lives by solving tough problems. So how can we help improve the lives of our team members? Our goals are to grow your family, to help you be the best you, to aid in your financial wellness, to offer leadership support, to focus on career development, and finally, to help you attain healthy body and healthy minds. So what's new for 2024? We're going to talk about Highmark medical plan enhancements, including infertility coverage, hearing aid coverage. We're going to discuss Virgin Pulse Wellness, which is going to be a new wellness vendor effective January 1st of 2024, replacing BeWell. We'll talk about a new adoption assistance program, which had been effective August 1st of 2023. We'll discuss paid leave programs, paid parental leave, and short-term disability payroll subsidy. And finally, we'll talk about financial counseling, which was effective October 1st of 2023. Fertility benefits. So effective January 1st, 2024, our Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Delaware medical plans will now offer for the first time coverage for infertility services. Covered services will include not only the diagnosis, but also the treatment of the cause of infertility. These covered treatments include in vitro fertilization and standard fertility preservation services. There is a limit of 6 completed egg retrievals per lifetime with unlimited embryo transfers in accordance with the guidelines of the American Society for Reproductive Medicine. A covered individual is one who has not been able to obtain a successful pregnancy through a reasonable effort with less costly infertility treatments covered by the policy. A covered individual must be a participant within one of our Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Delaware medical plans. So please refer to your specific medical plan to see the exact cost share for this covered service. Hearing aids. Hearing aids are also going to be a new benefit effective January 1st of 2024 through Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Delaware. One of the big benefits here is that there is no age restriction to this benefit. This coverage will offer participants up to $1,000 per hearing aid per year every 2 years. And again, please refer to your specific plan design for coverage details and cost share amounts. Virgin Pulse Wellness. All eligible team members must be registered on the Virgin Pulse platform and submit their completed annual wellness visit form no later than September 1st of 2024 to avoid a $10 weekly surcharge totaling $520 annually in 2025. In addition to avoiding the surcharge, team members with completed wellness visits will also earn a $50 reward. We will be moving away from the quarterly challenge model. In 2024, team members will be able to earn points by completing small tasks within the Virgin Pulse platform. As points are accumulated, team members will unlock levels 1 through 4 throughout the year and receive a monetary reward at each level. Team members that reach level 4 will earn a total of $120. With Virgin Pulse, doctors must complete a wellness visit form that team members can easily submit via the mobile app. I'm excited about this one. So Virgin Pulse is going to be replacing BeWell. I know oftentimes throughout the year, I do talk to team members in regards to that annual visit and the struggles that they had in submitting that annual physical or annual blood work. Hopefully this makes it a lot easier. I know with Virgin Pulse, with that form, much simpler process, I think, for you and for the doctor. Virgin Pulse currently impacts over 100 million people across 190 countries by helping Fortune 500 national health plans and many other organizations change lives for the better. Hopefully this is a huge step in the right direction. Next, we'll move on to benefits that focus on family values. So Burris Logistics is introducing an adoption assistance program, which was effective August 1st of 2023. There is a $5,000 reimbursement for eligible expenses per adoption, not subject to federal income tax. Big one. The company will reimburse for one adoption occurring per rolling 24-month period. No more than 2 adoption occurrences will be eligible for reimbursement over the course of all employment with Burris. Eligible expenses include adoption agency fees, placement fees, home study fees, attorney fees and cost, court filing fees and cost, reasonable travel expenses. To be eligible, a team member must have 12 months of continuous employment based on seniority date and be a full-time benefits eligible team member. Continuing with the family value theme, paid parental leave will also be available as of January 1st, 2024. Team members welcoming a child will be provided up to 6 weeks of paid parental leave following the birth of a team member's child or the placement of a child with a team member in connection with adoption or foster care, plus up to a 2-week transition period in which team members may work 80% of their regular schedule for 100% pay to help ease their return to work. Pretty good deal. To be eligible, team members must be a full-time, non-union, benefit-eligible employee with at least 1 year of continuous service. One additional new thing is short-term disability payroll subsidy. So what is that? So additional income replacement to make team members whole based on 100% of eligible earnings. The duration can be for it will be for the first 6 weeks of approved short-term disability claim. The company will calculate the difference between the approved short-term disability carrier's gross weekly benefit amount and the team member's eligible weekly earnings determined by the team member's short-term disability class. That difference will be paid to the team member on a regularly scheduled pay date for up to 6 weeks. In the event a team member lives in a state that offers state paid leave benefits that are approved, the short-term disability benefit through Mutual of Omaha may pay as a secondary supplement up to the calculated weekly benefit per the certificate of coverage. That's a fancy way of saying that all payments together are not to exceed 100% of eligible earnings. To be eligible, team member must be non-union and meet the eligibility criteria for the company paid short-term disability benefit as outlined in the certificate of coverage. Financial counseling. I think nowadays we can all use this. As one of the largest registered investment advisors in the U.S. over the past 30 years, CapTrust has gained insights into some of the country's biggest retirement. Our team at CapTrust can apply this expertise to help you navigate the best 401k investment options. In partnership with CapTrust, team members now have access to a team of financial professionals familiar with their benefits programs. That's a big plus. They can help you get back to the basics with support for building a budget, advice on paying off debt, and planning for the future. You will see there is a QR code here. You can certainly scan that to schedule an appointment with CapTrust. Again, as a reminder, this benefit is effective October 1st of 2023. So what is changing? We're going to talk about spending account limits. We'll talk about Unum enhancements. We'll talk about payroll contribution amounts. We do want to discuss how Burris Logistics compares nationwide. We'll talk about 401k contribution limits, and we'll talk about the 401k waiting period, which is new and has changed effective October 1st of 23. So we'll talk first about the 2024 HSA limits. Every year, these do change slightly. So what we have listed here is the current limits in 2023, what they will be in 2024, and how much that has changed. So the one thing I always want to emphasize, when we're talking about maximum contribution limits towards the HSA, health savings account, we are talking about the employer plus the employee contribution. Both together cannot exceed the amount you see on your screen. So in 2023, if you had self-only coverage for the entire 12 months, $3,850 would be the maximum limit. For family, $7,750. And the HSA catch-up contributions for those of you age 55 or older was an additional $1,000. In 2024, those limits are increasing. You'll see self-only goes up to $4,150. That is up $300. You'll see family goes up to $8,300. That is up $550. And if you're age 55 or older in 2024, it's another $1,000 as far as the catch-up contribution. No change on that front. Flexible spending accounts. So every year, these do tick up slightly as well. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about the rollover, and we'll talk about how that changed. So flexible spending accounts, if we're talking about the general purpose health FSA, currently the max limit is $3,050. In 2024, that's going up to $3,200, which is an increase of $150. Dependent care FSA is split up into two categories. Married individuals filing separately is going to be a cap of $2,500 in 2023, unchanged in 2024. Married couples filing jointly and single parents, that limit is $5,000 in 2023 as well as 2024. That remains unchanged. Limited purpose FSA. So again, limited purpose FSA is for those people, those team members on the qualified high deductible health plan with the HSA. It does cover strictly dental and vision only. So you will notice that those limits mirror the general purpose health FSA limits. They mirror it in 2023, they mirror it in 2024, and again, same exact increase. The commuter benefit account is set as a monthly limit versus an annual limit. So that was $300 per month in 2023. In 2024, it goes slightly to $315 per month, up $15 a month. I don't think many Burris team members, I don't think this applies to too many of you, but just as an FYI. Maximum allowable rollover. And again, when we're talking about the rollover, we're only talking about the general purpose FSA and the limited purpose FSA. So from 2023 to 2024, the period we're in right now, you can roll over up to $610 unused dollars. From 2024 into 2025, you can roll over $640, so an increase of $30. As a reminder, dependent care does not roll over. So be cognizant of that fact. As far as the commuter benefit account, the entire amount rolls over month to month and year to year. So you don't have to worry about a limit on that one. As far as Unum, so we have some changes here. We're still going to offer accident and critical illness, but hopefully this makes it a heck of a lot easier. So now you can make these enrollments and changes directly in Dayforce, where you make all your changes. You no longer have to call in. You no longer have to talk to a rep. So hopefully that's a lot simpler for you. The other two things is that the coverages were enhanced. So please take a look at your benefit booklet, study the plan designs. Great to see exactly how much the coverage has shifted. Also, the cost has been enhanced, meaning it's going to be at a better cost, which is always a nice thing as well. So definitely take a look. Payroll contributions. So I'm going to leave the screen up here for a minute. These are going to be the new payroll contributions effective January 1st of 2024. These are going to be the weekly contribution amounts. It is going to be broken out on the medical side by PPO and qualified high deductible health plan, HSA compatible, dental and vision. And then we have three tiers: team member only, which is your single, team member plus one, or team member plus family. I'm going to let that sit there for a minute just so you can take a peek. And again, these are weekly amounts. Okay, on this next screen, we're going to see payroll deductions, and these are going to be your bi-weekly contribution amounts. And as a reminder, Honor Foods union members, please see your local HR team for 2024 payroll contribution amounts. But again, you're going to see these separated into the same categories: medical, dental, and vision, team member plus one, team member plus family, as well as both medical plans. I'll let that sit there for a minute so you can take a peek. All right, so how does that compare? So every year, we like to take a look at exactly how Burris Logistics pricing compares on a national average standpoint. And as you can see, compares very, very favorably. When we're looking at the overall average cost of health insurance, Burris Logistics pricing on an individual level is 24% lower than the national average. And when we're talking about the family plan, much, much better even, right? 35% under the national average. So definitely a great place to be. So what else is changing? 401k contribution limits. Again, every year this changes a bit. So your retirement plan is currently through the Principal Financial Group. You can elect a plan, both pre-tax or Roth after tax. The annual estimated contribution limits for 2024 is $23,000. Again, that's a projection. Take a peek, keep checking in with the benefit hub just to confirm that. Age 50 or older, additional catch-up amount of $7,500, no change there. Company match, dollar for dollar, up to a maximum of 6%. Vested upon completion of 2 years of service. Automatic enrollment at a 3% pre-tax contribution. And as a reminder, you must opt out annually if not interested. So this is not passive, that is active. So you must opt out annually if you're not interested. That will go automatic for you. Automatic escalation set at 1% each year, up to 7% pre-tax. Investment options are available. 401k waiting period. So save for retirement now. As a reminder, the waiting period was changed to the first of the month following date of employment, effective October 1st, 2023. And all team members hired prior to 10/1/23 who are still in their waiting period became eligible to contribute immediately and were auto-enrolled at 3%. If you wish to stop contributing or change your contribution amount, please log into the principal website and make that change. So a benefit review. So at this time, we want to go through a high-level look and see exactly what is currently being offered. We're going to give you a walkthrough of the medical and prescription plan. We're going to go through the diabetes program. We're going to go through the second opinion program. We'll walk through dental, vision. We'll walk through the spending accounts, life and disability benefits, legal benefit, accident and critical illness, pet insurance, tuition reimbursement, employee assistance program, and marketplace chaplains. Again, as a reminder, we're going to go through a high-level look. All the details will be in your benefit booklet and also the benefit hub. So definitely make sure you visit both those items. So we're going to start off with the Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Delaware PPO 1000 plan. And we do have two different Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Delaware plan options. The nice thing is both of these plan options do offer the same exact network of participating providers. Both of these plans offer 1.7 million unique in-network providers coast to coast. So a tremendously large nationwide network. You do have access to Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO providers state by state, coast to coast. This also gives you a network of participating providers in 200 additional countries. So it is monstrous. This is a national network that currently offers coverage to over 100 million Americans. So a very, very popular network as well. So when we talk about this plan, I just want to give you a quick walkthrough here. You don't need to select a primary care physician. You don't need a referral to obtain coverage. If you're seeing your general practitioner, you have a $25 copay. If you're going to see a specialist, and that could be a cardiologist, a dermatologist, you name it, you have a $60 copay. Routine preventative care, there's going to be no charge. Deductible does not apply, should be nothing out of pocket. That will include things like a routine annual physical, routine OBGYN visit. There is a deductible on this plan that will only apply to certain services. It is an embedded deductible. That deductible is based on the calendar year. It is $1,000 per family member, up to $2,000 per family. When we're talking about things like inpatient and outpatient hospitalization, members responsible for 20% after that deductible has been met. Lab and radiology, lab or pathology performed at a doctor's office, no charge. Diagnostic lab or radiology, the member is responsible for 20% after that deductible has been met. Advanced radiology, that's going to include things like MRIs, MRAs, CAT scans, and PET scans. If performed in an outpatient facility, there's a $150 copay. Urgent care facility, there's going to be a $25 copay. The emergency room is a $250 copay. It's going to be waived if you're admitted. The out-of-pocket max is based on a calendar year, and that's going to be your maximum exposure for the course of that year. If you meet your total max out-of-pocket exposure, Any service rendered past that point will be 100% covered. So on this plan, you have two limits, one for medical and one for prescription. So your medical out-of-pocket max is $5,500 per individual, $11,000 per family. On the prescription side, $2,650 per individual, $5,300 per family. What you're going to notice is that everything counts towards these maximums. Deductible counts towards it, coinsurance 20% counts towards it, any copays count toward it. So once you do hit that threshold again in the course of that calendar year, any service rendered past that point would be 100% covered. As far as prescription drugs, you have a 3-tiered drug rider. So generic medications for a 30-day supply will be $15. For a 90-day mail order supply will be $37.50. Get a bit of a discount. Preferred brand, a 30-day supply is going to be $45. A 90-day mail order supply is going to be $112.50. A little bit of a discount again. Non-preferred 30-day supply is going to be $60. 90-day mail order is going to be $150. Again, bit of a discount. If you do go out of network, so if you cannot find a provider in that 1.7 million participating providers, you do have out-of-network benefits as well. With out-of-network benefits, they're defined as going to a provider or facility that does not have a contract with your current network, with your current carrier. If you go to a non-participating provider, you do have a deductible first, $2,000 per person, up to $4,000 per family, after which Highmark is going to cover 60%. You would be responsible for any balance bill difference. So you do want to be careful. Those numbers can get pretty big pretty quick. Your out-of-pocket max out of network is set at $5,000 per person, $10,000 per family. That only caps usual and customary costs. Balance billing will always apply out of network, so you do definitely want to be careful. That was a quick run through. If we look next at the Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Delaware Qualified High Deductible Health Plan 2000 PPO. This is a bit of a different animal. So this is the base plan. And the first thing I do want to point out is that the deductible is non-embedded. So if you have single coverage, your deductible is $2,000. If you have employee plus one or family coverage, your deductible is $4,000. So the difference here is that this deductible is not per family member up to a family cap. If you have employee plus one or family, you can just erase that first $2,000. The only thing you focus on is that $4,000. If I'm covered under this plan and it's me, my wife, and my 2 kids, if I'm admitted to the hospital, I would be responsible for that first $4,000 before coverage kicked in. Whereas on the other plan, it's a per person deductible up to a family cap. Where if I was on that first plan and I was admitted to the hospital, I'd pay the first $1,000, then my coverage would kick in. If my wife was sent to the hospital, she'd pay the first $1,000, then her coverage would kick in. Her $1,000 and my $1,000 would equal the $2,000 family cap of that first plan. So this plan does operate differently. The other different thing about this plan is that these deductibles apply before any coverage kicks in. So on that first plan, again, deductibles only apply to certain services. With this plan, these deductibles apply to every service, with the only exception being preventative care service. Preventative care under this plan, like your annual physical, annual OBGYN visit, will be covered at no cost from day one. Everything else, including prescriptions, will be subject to this deductible. So what you're going to see is that physician visits, primary care and specialist, member responsible for 20% after deductible. Routine preventative care, no charge, deductible does not apply. Inpatient and outpatient hospitalization, member responsible for 20% after deductible. You see a common theme here. Lab and radiology, member responsible for 20% after deductible. Advanced radiology, member responsible for 20% after deductible. Urgent care facility, member responsible for 20% after deductible. Same for the emergency room. The total max out of pocket here, $7,000 if you have single coverage, $14,000 if you have employee plus one or family coverage. Deductible counts towards that, 20% charges count towards that. If you hit that threshold, any service rendered past that point in that calendar year would be 100% covered. Important thing I want to point out too, again, I know I mentioned it, but I'll say it again. Prescription drugs subject to that deductible too. So generic 30-day supply, $15 after that deductible has been met. 90-day supply mail order, $37.50. Preferred brand, $45 for a 30-day supply, $112.50 for a 90-day supply through mail order after deductible. Non-preferred, 30-day supply is $60, $150 for a 90-day mail order supply after deductible. Out of network, again, if you go to a non-participating provider, out of network benefits will apply. Deductible first, $4,000 if you have single coverage, $8,000 employee plus one or family coverage. Coinsurance is set at 60%. Your max out-of-pocket out-of-network, $6,000 for single, $12,000 for employee plus one or family. And again, balance billing will always apply. So this is only going to cap, again, the usual and customary rates. Okay, next we'll move on to CCS Medical Diabetes Program. This is a popular one. We always get a lot of questions about this one and a lot of compliments. People are happy with this. This is actually an offering that flows through the PBM, the Pharmacy Benefit Manager, RX Benefits. If you take a look at the booklet, you're going to see the contact information for CCS Medical Diabetes Program. And it's simple. To enroll, you simply call in and they'll help you out in getting enrolled. Living Connected from CCS Medical, in conjunction with your Highmark medical plan, does offer free diabetes testing supplies to all team members and covered dependents who are enrolled in one of Highmark health plans and who have been diagnosed with diabetes as part of our preferred diabetes management and wellness program. Diabetic supplies through CCS Medical will be covered as part of a treatment plan for those participants that are diagnosed with diabetes or considered to be insulin resistant. All Living Connected participants will be provided the following supplies at absolutely no cost, free of charge: state-of-the-art cellular and Bluetooth glucose monitor, lancets, lancing devices, diabetic testing strips, online portal, and smartphone application to access and share results. So yeah, if this applies to you, definitely make sure you give them a ring, get enrolled. That could save you a lot of money out of pocket. Second opinion program. Another really nice added benefit here. If you are enrolling in Burris Logistics Health Benefit Plan, you are automatically eligible to take advantage of MediGuide's America's Second Opinion program at no cost at all to you. Team members that have been diagnosed with certain illnesses can have their diagnosis and treatment plans evaluated by specialists across the country. MediGuide provides team members with access for an independent review, which includes a global network of specialist physicians practicing at world-leading medical centers known for medical research breakthroughs, advanced treatments, and the quality of clinical outcomes. Especially given what we've been through the last handful of years, this is a tremendous benefit for you guys. If you ever do go through something serious or have a family member going through something serious, last thing you want to worry about is insurance or wondering if you're going to the best possible provider. This would give you a second opinion. Programs at no cost to you, so hopefully a huge plus for you. MetLife Dental. So MetLife's dental program is also going to give you a nationwide network of providers coast to coast. Burris Logistics does offer MetLife's PDP network. Again, hopefully a great fit for you. MetLife's contact information, again, will be in the booklet. As far as how this coverage works, there is a deductible that's going to apply to basic and major services. It's going to be $25 per individual, up to $50 per family. When we're talking about coverage, preventative services like your annual cleanings, going to be 100% covered, nothing out of pocket, no deductible. For basic services, which are going to be your type B, it's going to be things like fillings, oral surgery, extractions, general anesthesia. It's going to be 80% covered. You're going to be responsible for 20% after your deductible. Your deductible is once and done in a given year. You never have to pay that twice. For major services, it's going to be a 50-50 split. MetLife is going to pay 50%. You're going to be responsible for 50% after that deductible's been met. Orthodontia is covered at 50%. The lifetime maximum benefit for orthodontics is going to be $1,200 per child up to age 19. So they will cover 50% up to $1,200 for children up to age 19. The annual maximum benefit here is going to be $1,500 per family member per year. So we talked about the max out of pocket on the medical side. The max out of pocket on the medical side capped your exposure. Any service rendered past that point would be 100% covered. The dental is exactly the opposite. This $1,500 annual benefit, annual max, is going to cap what MetLife pays. So once MetLife pays out in claims, $1,500 per family member per year, any service rendered past that point would be 100% your responsibility. So quite the opposite. Just want to make sure you're clear on that. So this plan does offer in-network and also out-of-network benefits. Out-of-network benefits, you'll see the percentages still look really good, but you do want to be careful. It is going to be based on contracted rates with in-network providers, and you would be responsible for any balance bill difference. So those numbers can get pretty big pretty quick. Next, we'll jump over to iMedVision. And iMedVision, again, nationwide network of providers, hopefully a great match for you guys. Again, the benefit booklet is going to have contact information for iMed as well as the website. If you are looking for a participating provider, it is the Insight network that you're looking under. How this works, whenever we're talking about vision coverage, we want to look at a couple different criteria. We're going to look at exactly what's covered. We're going to look at the cost of the coverage. We're going to look at the frequency of the coverage. So what you're going to notice here, we'll focus on in-network benefits first if you're going to a participating provider. The exam copay is going to be $10, and that is going to be covered once every 12 months. Retinal imaging can cost you up to $39. That is going to be covered once every 12 months. With this plan, it's going to be glasses or contacts in a given period. So you'll see there, the eyeglass lens allowance, single vision, is covered 100% after a $25 copay. Bifocal, covered 100% after a $25 copay. Trifocal, covered 100% after a $25 copay. Standard progressive, covered 100% after a $90 copay. A little bit different there. And again, those lenses are going to be covered once every 12 months in lieu of contacts. You'll see at the bottom, frame retail allowance is going to be $160, plus you do get 20% off any additional out-of-pocket cost. Again, once every 12 months for the frames. If you go contact lenses instead, what you're going to see is your standard fit and follow-up will cost you a $40 copay. Elective, which most contact lenses are elective. I learned that when I first started in this industry. So that is going to be a $120 allowance, no copay. If contacts are therapeutic, medically necessary, which is incredibly rare, they are covered 100% with no copay. If you do go to a participating provider, they will take care of that claim at the point of service. If you do go out of network, you would have to fill out a claim form and submit that claim form for reimbursement. You will see your reimbursement levels listed off to the right. Second to take a peek at that. Okay, we'll jump to the spending accounts next, and we'll start off with the flexible spending accounts. So Burris Logistics does offer a general purpose healthcare FSA. And just as a reminder, those team members that are currently enrolled in the qualified high deductible health plan and the HSA cannot participate within this option. So the general purpose health FSA, I gave you a link there in regards to eligible expenses, but this can be used to pay for medical, prescription, dental, vision expenses, and many, many other things. You'll notice if you go to that link, there's about 35 pages worth of eligible items. You can decide how much you want to set aside at the beginning of the year. You make your annual election up to the annual maximum, which we discussed earlier, which is going to be $3,200 for 2024. And that money is yours starting from day one. Whatever you elect, you can use that money from day one, and that money will be taken out of your paycheck in equal installments throughout the course of the year. Dependent care FSA, we talked about those limits earlier as well. The dependent care FSA can be used to pay for expenses to care for your eligible dependents, including daycare, after-school care, elder care, and nanny services. Unlike the general purpose FSA, your entire elective dependent care amount is not available day one. Very important to note that. It can only be used as that money is deducted from your pay throughout the course of the year. Limited purpose FSA, this is built for those team members that are enrolled in the qualified high deductible health plan with the HSA. A limited purpose FSA can only be used for dental and vision expenses. Again, in conjunction with the HSA and the Qualified High Deductible Health Plan, the maximum limits do mirror the general purpose FSA. The healthcare spending account. So HSAs are tax-advantaged individually owned accounts that let you save pre-tax dollars for future qualified medical expenses. You can contribute towards this. Burris Logistics also contributes towards your HSA. Both employer and employees can contribute to the accounts up to the allowed annual IRS maximum. And as a reminder, so the employer contribution and the employee contribution both count towards that maximum. These funds do roll over year after year, and they can accrue interest. These funds can also be spent tax-free if used for qualified eligible expenses. And if you do leave employment, this is your money to take with you. You must be enrolled in a qualified high deductible health plan to qualify. The commuter reimbursement accounts. Again, I don't think this applies to too many team members of Burris, but this can be used to pay for eligible parking expenses, transit pass expenses, and commuter highway vehicle van pool expenses. The CRA allows for the same tax advantage as a healthcare independent FSAs. You decide how much money to set aside at the beginning of the year. This could be a month-by-month basis as well. It makes it pretty unique. Your elected amounts can only be used as that money is deducted from your pay throughout the year, or FSA. Eligible expenses include parking expenses incurred near a mass transit facility, van pool or carpool, transit pass expenses, commuter highway vehicle expenses, to and or from your place of employment. It doesn't count if you're going client to client, if you're a salesperson. This only goes to and from work. You cannot use this for dependents. You cannot use this for a spouse. This is just for you. Ineligible expenses. So tolls, easy pass, fuel, mileage do not count. Expenses associated with client visits do not count. Got ahead of myself. Expenses incurred by your spouse or dependents do not count. Expenses submitted more than 180 days after the expenses incurred will not be eligible. Group life insurance and AD&D. So Burris Logistics provides full-time eligible employees with life insurance and AD&D coverage at no cost to you. So non-hourly drivers are eligible for a $50,000 benefit. All other full-time eligible team members qualify for one-time annual salary up to $100,000 maximum benefit. I'm going to pause here. The one thing I do want to stress here, handful of claims over the last few years. And the one thing I always want to point out, just make sure your beneficiary election is up to date. I'm always surprised at how many people either never elected a beneficiary or forgot to update it. You can update your beneficiary as often as you like, as many times as you want throughout the course of the year. God forbid something does happen, Mutual of Omaha will go to Burris. They'll ask for your most recent election and make the payment accordingly. If you do not elect a beneficiary, the life insurance amount would be paid to your estate. The downside there is that creditors can attack that. Whereas if you assign it to someone, it cannot be attacked by creditors. So please just make sure your beneficiary information is up to date and that you do have a beneficiary elected. Voluntary life insurance is also offered through Mutual of Omaha. Burris Logistics provides a vast array of voluntary benefits, this being one of them. Voluntary term life insurance, you can elect an amount for yourself up to 5 times your annual salary to a max of $500,000. For your spouse, up to $250,000 max, not to exceed your life election, or 5 times your annual salary if you do not elect this coverage for yourself. For your children, up to a $5,000 max. Medical underwriting will be required for any team member enrolling for the first time after their initial new hire eligibility window is closed, and for those that elect amounts in excess of the policy guarantee issue threshold. Very important to note, if you sign up for it, and if you do have to go through evidence of insurability, make sure you're taking that step. Voluntary AD&D. So voluntary accidental death and dismemberment is also available through Mutual of Omaha. You can elect voluntary AD&D coverage in one of the following principal sums: $50,000, $100,000, $150,000, or $200,000. You may elect employee-only coverage, or you may elect a family coverage. The benefit amount for each dependent is as follows. Spouse only would be 50% of your elected principal sum. Children only, 15% of your elected principal sum for each child. Spouse and children, 40% of your elected principal sum for your spouse and 10% of your elected principal sum for each child. The coverage amount for your spouse or child cannot exceed 100% of your voluntary AD&D principal sum elected. Employer-sponsored disability, short-term disability and long-term disability, also offered through Mutual of Omaha. Burris Logistics provides full-time employees after 1 year of service with both short and long-term disability coverage at no cost to you. Short-term disability benefits covers 70% of weekly salary, up to a max benefit of $1,000 per week for up to 26 weeks. Benefits begin day 1 in the case of an accident and day 8 if the disability was caused by an illness. Basic long-term disability benefits cover 60% of monthly salary after a 6-month elimination period, up to a max monthly benefit of $12,500. Long-term disability benefits can last until Social Security normal retirement age. LTD voluntary buy-up, also through Mutual of Omaha. Voluntary long-term disability buy-up is available through Mutual of Omaha, where team members can upgrade their coverage from 60% up to 66 2/3% of monthly salary to a max benefit of $12,500. Evidence of insurability is required if you enroll after your initial eligibility. Legal benefit is offered through Met Law. This is a really neat benefit and I think a really popular benefit at Burris Logistics. You do get a lot of coverage for the money. It also comes with a rider for identity theft, which is very nice. Telephone and office consultations are available for an unlimited number of personal legal matters with an attorney of your choice. Money matters, home and real estate planning, family and personal use, civil lawsuits, elder care issues, and more. The cost is $9.70 biweekly or $4.85 per week, and that would cover you, your spouse, and your dependents. Again, we touched upon Unum earlier, and we talked about there being an enhancement of coverage at a stronger price. So I just want to touch upon the coverage quick. So voluntary benefits offered through Unum are accident and critical illness insurance. Accident insurance will pay a set benefit amount based on the type of injury you have and the type of treatment you need. It is based on a fee schedule. Please refer to your benefit booklet for the exact fee schedule. Covers accidents that occur off the job. Can help with out-of-pocket costs that medical plans don't cover, for example, co-pays and deductibles. And the money is sent directly to you, plus. Critical illness. Critical illness insurance pays you directly if you're diagnosed with a covered illness listed below. You are paid in one lump sum based on the benefit amount you elect. You can use this coverage more than once. Even after you receive a payout for a covered illness, you're still covered for the remaining conditions. Diagnosis must be at least 90 days apart, and that pertains to any and all cancer diagnosis. Any and all cancer diagnosis, however, fall under a singular condition. So you can't double dip on the cancer diagnoses. Some covered conditions include heart attack, major organ failure, we just talked about cancer, benign brain tumor, and end-stage kidney failure. This is a new one as of last year. So Burris Logistics offers voluntary pet insurance through Nationwide. As far as program highlights, Nationwide is supporting over 9,700 employers and more than 1 million policies. Plans are available with payroll deductions, making it simple. All pets are welcome, dogs and cats being the most popular, but also cover birds, rabbits, ferrets, reptiles, and exotic pets. No age limits imposed, no vet network, which makes it very nice. You can visit any vet, including your current vet, anywhere, anytime. No waiting period after the policy effective date. Free 24/7 veterinary telehealth line. Online claim submissions via mobile website. As far as plan highlights, flexibility to choose either a 70% or 50% reimbursement option. There is a $250 annual deductible and a $7,500 annual plan maximum. Multi-pet discount, 2 to 3 pets, extra 5% discount, 4+ pets, extra 10% discount. The rating model is now based exclusively on the pet's species, breed, age, and the zip code where you live. Coverage is guarantee issue. Again, if you look in the benefit booklet, you can see the URL, the web link to go to obtain a quote or to learn more. As far as other available benefits, Burris Logistics also offers tuition reimbursement. Through the free tuition grant program, team members can earn an associate's, bachelor's, or master's degree with zero out-of-pocket costs through University of Arizona Global Campus. Your immediate family members can take advantage of a 40% tuition discount with UAGC. Separately, team members seeking degrees with other accredited colleges or universities may also be eligible for reimbursement and qualifying education expenses up to $5,250 per year. Employee Assistance Program, EAP. I know this is very popular through the COVID years. This offers support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year with mental, financial, physical, and emotional well-being, no charge, confidential service, 5 face-to-face sessions. Please, again, look for more details within the benefit booklet. LifeWorks has changed their name to TELUS, so please take a look there for the details. Marketplace Chaplains Team Member Care Program. So team members and their family members can build relationships and speak confidentially to a member of the dedicated care team at no cost. Discuss confidential issues such as stress, parenting, marriage, financial concerns, addiction, aging parents, serious illness, and more. Provide care for grief, family deaths and funerals, in-person facility visits, or utilize the MyChat mobile app. And lastly, we're going to jump into the enrollment process. So the open enrollment dates are from November 7th through November 20th. As far as resources, please visit the Dayforce Hub for a lot of great information and additional brochures, coverage limits, plan designs. Team member checklist, the 2024 benefit booklet, which is very comprehensive. We're going to talk about what changes you can make at this point. As far as enrolling in Dayforce, coordination of benefits, evidence of insurability, and we'll touch upon some general housekeeping. As far as the enrollment process, the resources are really going to be the Dayforce Hub. You can go into Dayforce to make your elections, make any changes. You definitely want to double check to make sure all your information is accurate, including your current address, date of birth, social security number. Please make sure you review the team member checklist within the 2024 benefit booklet to make sure you haven't missed anything at all this year. Again, we're going through a high-end overview, but that booklet is going to have a lot of detail. You're going to find detailed plan designs, contact information, eligibility guidelines, and costs within this open enrollment document available online. You'll also see my contact information in there, Rob Fulton from Rue Insurance. If you do have any specific questions, please feel free to reach out to me via email or phone, or if you have any claim or billing issues throughout the course of the year. What changes can you make at this point? You can enroll in any of our coverages for the first time, terminate or waive coverage without experiencing a qualifying life event, add or remove eligible dependents to coverage without needing a qualifying life event, enroll or increase voluntary life coverage, enroll in any of our voluntary benefit offerings. Don't forget, if you wish to continue within one of our spending accounts, the General Purpose FSA, Dependent Care FSA, Limited Purpose FSA, Commuter Benefit Account, HSA, you must re-enroll each year. That is not automatic. Enrolling in Dayforce. Open enrollment runs from Tuesday, November 7th through Monday, November 20th. Ceridian Dayforce will be pre-populated with your current elections. Actions required by you. Review, verify your personal information, and that of your dependents and beneficiaries, ensuring birth dates and social security numbers are all correct. Make any desired enrollment changes, save, and submit. All elections and changes can be made from this portal with the one exception, that exception being Nationwide's pet insurance, but the URL is listed within the benefit booklet, so please take a peek if you're interested. You may be prompted to complete additional forms as part of open enrollment. If you're not prompted to complete other forms, we highly recommend you verify your address, tax elections, social security number, and direct deposit information while you're logged into Dayforce just to be safe. Continuing with the enrollment process, coordination of benefits and evidence of insurability. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Delaware Coordination of Benefits Questionnaire can be completed by calling a number on the COB sticker on your new ID card. You can also update your COB status by simply calling Member Services at 1-833-232-0890 to complete or update this information within your member portal. A reminder, if you are enrolling with involuntary life insurance or voluntary LTD for the first time, and you are outside of your initial new hire eligibility window, you must complete and submit evidence of insurability. General housekeeping, end of year best practice. You may be prompted to complete additional forms as part of open enrollment. If you're not prompted to complete other forms, we recommend that you verify your address. I'm doubling down on this one. Tax elections, social security number, and direct deposit information while you're logged into Dayforce. Again, second time I said that, second reminder that shows how important that is. So please make sure you're double checking all your information. I do want to thank you for your time today. I hope everyone has an amazing 2024. If you do have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, Rob Fulton from Rue Insurance. Thank you.